Hello everyone, my name is Michael SK, and welcome back to Robotics Notes Elite. Things are getting a little complicated. In the last episode, spoilers by the way, well, spoilers all the time, but pretty significant spoilers, we have come across the real Airi, who I'm pretty sure is dead, like fairly certain, but she's in this like electronically cooled coffin sort of container thing that we stumbled across because we are in Kimijima's quote-unquote home, or at least it's a home for the Airi that we know, the AI Airi. And despite her recent issues, she's actually been a little okay, kind of describing what's happening here to an extent. But we're getting a little bit more of the backstory here on the original Airi. I'll never get well. That's what I was told. My illness isn't life-threatening, but it'll torment me for life, excuse me. That is what the doctors told me. After I was diagnosed, I couldn't go to school anymore. I spent every day of my life in my room. It was easy enough to convince myself that I couldn't do anything about the pain, but it was too much to watch my illness torment mom and dad. I felt guilty. I just wanted to disappear. The only real enjoyment I had was watching the next day's weather forecast. Watching and believing that maybe this would be the year, that I would witness a miracle, a white Christmas Eve. Maybe, just maybe, if it could snow on Christmas Eve, eventually my incurable illness could be cured. That's why I would endlessly check the weather forecast all day long. And then I would sigh to myself. Kimijima was a strange man who had recently moved in close by. I say close, but he lived about a kilometer into the forest. At first, all we would do was exchange a word or two when Kimijima-san walked past my house. But somehow Kimijima-san learned of my illness, and one day he gave me a wonderful present. It was the alpha version of Iruo, an app that he was developing at the time. I felt like I was traveling all over the world. I still remember how much fun I had getting to see that wonderful app. After that, on days when I felt okay, I would often go and visit Kimijima-san's house. Kimijima-san didn't take good care of himself, so sometimes he wouldn't eat for days if I left him alone. Which is why I would always bring him food when I came by. While he ate, we would talk about all kinds of things. Kimijima-san was what you would call an inventor. He said that he had created all kinds of things. I don't know if he was telling the truth, but he even said that he might be able to build a time machine. Hey, time machines are a little possible in this universe here. Also, I'm pretty sure this is the first time we're seeing the guy. I don't really know what I pictured in my head, but it was definitely not this. When I tried asking, I recall a troubled smile crossing Kimijima-san's face.
天候制御装置か。さすがにそれはちょっと難しいかもしれないな。
A time machine sure seemed like it would be more difficult. When I said that to him, he simply laughed and said I might be right. I had never left Tanegashima. When I told him that I wanted to try traveling around the world, Kimijima-san created a model that looked just like me and then put it into Iruo. I could see myself walking down the streets of faraway foreign lands. Seeing myself in the world of Iruo helped me forget reality. I was happy, but it was just an illusion. In reality, I would never be cured of my illness. It was so painful. It also tormented my parents, who had to care for me 24 hours a day. I felt so guilty that eventually I started to truly wish for death. Yet despite all of this, we somehow just barely managed to function as a family. But such a tightly drawn string can snap at even the slightest thing. A strange thing happened around October of that year. Dad stopped coming home. He disappeared from the island altogether. It didn't take long for everything else to collapse. Mom had to care for me alone, but she was never a particularly strong person. About a month after Dad disappeared, Under too much pressure, Mom tried to strangle me? What the fuck? Okay, that kind of came out of nowhere. I could clearly feel her intent to kill me. Even though I was scared, I also thought that it would be okay to die if that would free Mom. But in the end, she released her hands from my neck and started crying and apologizing. I wished from the bottom of my heart, I wished that I would just disappear, to be gone from that place and free Mom from the curse that I was. And then I saw the weekly weather forecast. It would be bright and sunny on Christmas Eve. It was then that I gave up, convinced that miracles did not exist. I headed straight for Kimijima-san's house and asked him to erase me from the world. I know it was wrong to ask him for that, but Kimijima-san was the only other person I could rely on. If he could invent anything, maybe he could make something that would grant my wish. And when he heard that, Kimijima-san began to cry.
Airi, 君の願いを叶える方法を僕は知ってる。その方法を知ってるけど、でもそれはとても危険なことなんだ。それに、ある意味その方法に頼ることは逃避でもあるんだよ。今生きているこの瞬間から逃げることになってしまうんだ。君はまだ若い。これから辛いことは続くかもしれないけど、楽しいことだっていっぱいあるに違いないんだ。僕がこれから提示する方法は辛さから逃れられるかもしれないけど、楽しみも失ってしまうかもしれないよ。それにね、何よりも残されたお母さんはきっと君がいなくなったらとても悲しむだろう。だからアイリー、そんな寂しいことを僕に言わないでほしい。
Even so, I just wanted to free Mom from the burden that I was. She had sacrificed 14 years of her life to take care of my frail body. I wanted to finally give her relief. Shortly after our conversation, Kimijima-san led me to his basement. There was something resembling a coffin in the room.
君はこれから何十年も眠り続けることになるだろう。
Kimijima-san gently explained.
目が覚めたら、そこはお母さんがいない世界だ。君の病気を治せることができるようになっている時代なんだよ。
Oh shit.
君は今の君の年齢のまま目覚めることになる。もしかしたら僕ももういなくなってるかもしれない。
She's not dead, is she? Well, she could be.
ずっと未来へと君は時をかけるんだ。眠っている間、寂しいだろうから君に夢を見せてあげよう。イルオの中をまるで庭のように自由に歩き回れるようにしておくね。今はまだあまりイルオの世界は広くはないけど、正式サービスが始まればきっと劇的に広がる。雪が降っているのを見るのは難しいかもしれないけど、それはいつか君が再び目覚めて病気が治った時のお楽しみにとっておけばいい。おやすみ、眠り姫。いい夢を。
おやすみなさい。ありがとう。
Thank you, Kimijima-san, for listening to the wish of someone like me. I hope Kimijima-san is still there when I wake up. Well, I got bad news for you there. Even if he's become an old man. And with that, my whole world was engulfed in pure white. I take one step back and then another. With each step, I kick some dust into the air. The surface of the device that Airi is pretending to rub her cheek against is also coated in dust. As for my candid thoughts following Airi's explanation, it's like something straight out of some manga.
いわゆるコールドスリープ装置と呼ばれているものだそうですよ。
Airi makes it sound like she's completely unrelated. I tried googling it. Apparently, said device chills the human body to a low temperature, slowing cell activity and preserving the body. By doing so, as long as the device is operational, one won't age for decades or even centuries. It's a method of extending the human lifespan for far past its limits, and you see it a lot in space movies. I think Planet of the Apes did it. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if Interstellar did it. I want to say maybe. No, I don't think Interstellar did it. They just had like the fast zooming or whatever, so they didn't have to worry about that problem. I don't think, maybe? I don't know. But I do want to say, yeah, this is all fiction. This is definitely not a science that is like up there yet, but there was a YouTube video that I watched. I can never remember his name. He's an OG YouTuber, OG quote unquote. He's been around for a long time. Damn it, I can't remember his name, but he went to a company that I guess takes a body after they are pronounced dead, like heart attack or whatever, and they put them basically into a cold storage where they're practically frozen in such a way where if they were to sometime in the far, far future, theoretically, be unfrozen, science then could hopefully bring them back to life or something along those lines. But yeah, that is beyond our scope. It's been said that the technology to make it real already exists, but nobody has tried to make it happen. Why not? Because there's no guarantee that the thawing process is safe. That makes sense. It would also explain why nobody's attempted it.
じゃあさ、この装置の中にいる本物の愛梨ちゃんは死んでないってことでいいわけ?
I mean, dead in a way.
限りなく死んでいるのに近い状態ではありますけど、蘇生できるはずです。
Should be, huh? At a loss, I sit down on the pipe chair nearby.
まさか愛梨ちゃんにオリジナルがいたとはね。
I'm not too surprised. I kind of predicted it a little bit ago. By a little bit ago, I mean like 2 episodes ago. But also, some like this AI that we've been interacting with for so long had to be based off of something, right? Like, there's no way that it could just have been, you know, created out of nothing. Or could it be?
愛梨ちゃんってさ、オリジナルの方がコールドスリープする前の経験は情報としてインプットされてるわけ？いや、最近の意味不明な言動はそれが表に出てたのかなって思ったんだけど。
Saying things about bringing food to Kimijima-ko, for example, or Airi saying that she saw herself.
そもそも君さ、オリジナルの愛梨ちゃんがコールドスリープに至るまでの出来事をどうしてそこまで詳しく知ってるわけ？
愛梨は愛梨ですから。
That's not an answer. With that, I give up on her giving me any clarification. I doubt AR Airi came up with this story on her own. She's only a program. Even if she fabricated a story, that would be the programmer's will, not AR Airi's will. Which means it's possible that Kimijima-ko programmed her like this. Yukifune Airi's sincere wish to be put into cold sleep, her feelings, he accurately traced them, and then he installed them into AR Airi. Though I have no idea why he would do that. Was finding this machine a good or bad thing? I'm currently sitting in the basement of an abandoned house deep in the forest. With Kimijima-ko dead, I doubt anybody's been here in over 9 years. And in this very basement sleeps a young girl. Who knows when she'll wake up? But one thing is for sure, she is alive. So now that I found her, what should I do? I can't just leave a young lady sleeping here and run off. But I have no means of waking her up either. And after Kimijima-ko's death, this house probably got a new owner. Even if they have never come to visit, well, they're paying the bill. This house and cold sleep device belongs to them. I'd be causing problems if I just fiddled with this thing without their permission. I'm caught between a rock and a hard place. That's why I'm at a loss.
そもそも愛梨ちゃんの話が本当だったとして、雪船愛梨の母親は今どこでどうしてるんだろう?
If Yukifune Airi entered cold sleep without telling her mom, she'd be treated as a missing person. Did her mother not go to the police? If she did, Kimijima would have been the first person that came up as a suspect. And then they would have found this room. Not that I have the slightest clue as to whether putting someone into cold sleep is a crime or not. I maybe, against their will, yes, but also, you're potentially killing them, so that would be constituted as murder. Even if they agree to it, like, you're assisting them, and therefore, in this case, I would say it's murder. While Yukifune Airi entered by her own will, she's a minor. She doesn't have the ability to consent legally. Yes, exactly. That would put Kimijima in a bad place, and if her mom agreed to continue the cold sleep, Airi would have been moved. She'd be at a proper medical facility. Instead, she's been left in the basement of this abandoned house for 9 years, without any proper maintenance.
マスターは雪船ミキエにありのままの事実を伝えましたよ。アイリも一緒に行ったので間違いないです。
ありのまま。
So she agreed to it. She gave her, and I guess Kimijima the full consent. And her mom agreed. If she didn't, she wouldn't have left her daughter on ice for 9 years.
その母親は今どこに？
わかりません。
わからないだって。
マスターが事実を伝えてからおよそ5ヶ月後に島を出たところまでは把握してるんですよ。でもその後の足取りは追っていないので。
娘を置いて島を出た。
What about Sister Centipede? Where does she, or they, come into all of this? After being freed from her daughter, did she decide to run away like the dad? I don't want to think this way, but this same lady did try to choke her own daughter to death. With my meager imagination, I can't find a reason why she'd leave the island and not come back even once.
この家の現在の所有者は？
そういう難しいことはアイリには聞かないでほしいです。ゲジネなら知ってると思います。
I flicked my finger against her forehead in response to her absurd suggestion considering the situation.
えっと
やっぱりゲジネには変わらないじゃないか。
This bug is bad news. I can't even ask the questions I want to ask.
オリジナルアイリの不治の病って何だったの？
It's been nearly 9 years since she entered cold sleep, so it's possible that we have a treatment for it now. Oh my fuck. That shit is so loud, man. Whoa. Somehow the name of the illness itself is being blocked. Maybe out of consideration for the trauma it caused? It's not like my knowing its name would fix things. What if it's the same disease that Kaito and Akiho have? But it's killing her. It could also just be cancer. I mean, yeah, cancer kills, especially if it's like really into the late stages. That's pretty incurable, wouldn't you say? Oh, we've got a new tweet that we can look at. Gunbill 2, prep is finished, going all in Jacquin. And that's all we got. Alright, Kaito, calm down and think. If I make the wrong choice here, there may be no turning back. Well, what choice is he making? Oh. Wait, what's happening? What's going on here? Even the ever-present aurora that eerily stains the entire night sky is barely visible due to the red lights. It's already late into the night when I look out the window from the backseat of the police car. Workers continue to go in and out of the ruins that were once Kimijima-ko's home. In the end, after a lot of thinking, I decided to report the whole story to the police. In fact, up until a moment ago, I was being questioned in the back of this police car, and it took forever. The cold sleep device can't just be removed. If they carelessly cut the power, they risk killing Yukifune Airi. Even then, I just couldn't leave her be. I asked the police to prioritize Yukifune Airi's well-being and to thaw her out in a proper facility somewhere. Although I have no idea if they'll listen to my request, I was just the first person to discover her. The police officer who questioned me, Miyamasu-san, said that they understood, and I'll trust them for now. I considered telling them about the Kimijima reports, but they seemed busy enough as it is, so I kept quiet. And then eventually I was let go. I'll leave the rest to the police. If nothing else, this is better than if I were to try and handle things myself. I probably shouldn't dig any deeper into this. I might talk to Airi like she's my pal, but she's not Yukifune Airi. We're total strangers who have never met before. This is not my business. No one would benefit from me poking my nose where I don't belong. If she continues her long sleep, we'll probably never speak to one another. And if she does wake up, I have nothing to offer her, no way of filling the 9-year void in her heart. As the person who found her, this is all I can do for her. Miyamatsu-san offered to drive me home, but I have my scooter, so I declined. Also, according to the clock, it's almost 11 at night. I only have an hour until AR Airi vanishes. I call home to tell them that I'm taking a bit of a detour, and then hop onto my scooter. You know what? I'm going to say it. This was the best decision. I'm just going to straight up say it. This was the mature choice that Kaito took. However, the Committee of 300 is all-knowing, watching every big move that happens in this world, right? Well, anything that is related to Kimijima-ko. If they somehow have not found Kaito, that is fine. But now they have found somebody that has been close to Kimijima-ko. That could spell some bad news. And we have another tweet, and I accidentally skipped to the next line. But it's 10 minutes till midnight by the time I reach Uchigaoka Park. I'm glad I made it in time. What is our tweet? Still not home? The lights are off in your room. Yeah, we're out and about, doing our own thing, you know? I figured I should see her off here if possible. I never thought I had such a sentimental side to me. I'm sure that's the reason why I've been so fixated on this park since I was a kid. Well, I guess you could call me a weak romanticist in a way. There's nobody in the park, not surprising given the hour, but the silence is almost painful to the ears. During the summer, this whole place would be filled with the sounds of insects. But there's barely any noise now. This sort of silence might be why winter evenings always seem so lonely.
Airi-chan, iru?
I came all the way here on my scooter. Did she manage to follow along? Well, of course, she has to follow along. I whip out my Pokecom and look for her. There she is, right next to me. She's looking up at the night sky again, almost like she's praying. Up in the sky, excuse me. We can see the stars. We can see the aurora. Is it just me, or is it more active than usual?
鹿児島県種子島屋久島地方明日の天気予報をお伝えします
As always, Airi starts indifferently reading the weather forecast aloud.
明日は晴れでしょう降水確率は 0% です
Though slightly quiet. Maybe because it's nighttime? And then Airi looks at me. She smiles sadly.
明日は晴れですね今日の夜も晴れです
Yep, no snow for you.
雪は降らないみたいです
そりゃ残念だったね。
ちょっとだけ期待したんですけど
Even if it happened to snow, Airi wouldn't be able to see it with her own eyes. But I don't think that matters. A white Christmas Eve on Tanegashima? That miracle in and of itself is what's important to her.
やっぱりもっとちゃんとお願いしておくべきでした
誰に？
マスターにマスターなら何でもできます何でも作っちゃうんです雪を降らせる装置だってきっと
A cold sleep device and a weather control device. I'm sure they're both complicated in their own ways, and he was trying to tackle a time machine. My man. I hear they have machines that artificially create snow for ski resorts up north, but it's not the same thing. Plus, it would cost a fortune to ship one of those to Tanegashima.
でもアイリはとってもいい夢が見られました最初は美咲がお話し相手になってくれましたしそれからしばらくはずっと一人ぼっちでしたけどお兄ちゃんに会えてまたいろいろお話できたので嬉しかったです
Hey, while we're reminiscing, remember when I was scared? Remember when I got scared in this fucking game? I swear, I've never really played a visual novel that has 3D models like what we're seeing here. And I don't know, just like the thought of having like, I guess 3D is more realistic than 2D in a game. And having like a spooky ghost or whatever running around, it just, it did scare me a little bit. Only slightly though.
できることならもう一度美咲に会いたかったんですけど。
Though I will say, looking back on it, it is funny and embarrassing that I was scared in a visual novel of all things. I think the only other time I really got scared in a visual novel, maybe Doki Doki Literature Club. That one is just kind of made to spook you with all its glitchiness and whatnot. I want to say that Steins Gate also had some moments because, man, the immersion there was good. But maybe Wonderful Every Day at times? Maybe? I don't know.
たままちっとも戻ってこないので、愛理はお冠です。
あ、そう。っていうかさ、そういうこれが最後みたいな感じで話すのをやめてくれない？愛理ちゃんは消えない可能性だってまだ残ってるでしょうが。
そうですね。でも雪は降らないので奇跡は起こらないと思います。
I didn't expect her to be such a realist right now. But maybe it's because she spent so much time wishing for something out of her reach.
愛理ちゃんってこの島から出たことないの？
ありますよ。
あるの？あ、でも愛理ちゃんが窓として使ってる君島レポートってこの島にしかないんでしょ？はい、
この島からは出られません。
Our conversation isn't matching up again. I'll just chalk it up to her bugging out. Well, maybe there's another thing going on
あと
here.
2ヶ月ぐらい待てば俺がお台場に連れてってあげたのに。
お台場、東京ですね。
The Kimijima reports have been downloaded to my Pokecom, so Airi can appear wherever I go.
例えば他に行ってみたい場所とかある？
気象庁。
なんだって？
気象庁に行きたいです。
Of course.
天気予報の現場を見てみたいんです。
そんなに天気予報が好きだったのか。
Huh. Yeah, who would have guessed? The one individual here, I guess both original and AR. You know, always talking about the goddamn weather reports. Yeah, who would have thought that she was just really that into it, that interested into it?
はい、眺めてるだけで楽しいですから。好きなお天気お姉さんは吉住です。
I mean, whenever I was younger, yeah, I mean, weather reports were cool, I guess. He's not a girl, he's an old dude. Are the bugs messing with her again? Plus, didn't he retire ages ago?
世界中に天気予報はあるでしょ？あるところでは猛暑で、同じ瞬間に別のところでは大雪が降っているんです。愛理は雨が降ったり雪が降ったりするのを見られないので、そういう天候の変化を天気予報を通して知るんです。そのデータを分析すると、そこに実際に行ったような気分になります。
That's probably what she meant when she said that she had left the island. Airi's been traveling across the world this whole time in her own way.
お兄ちゃん、お兄ちゃん。
Well, it's the 24th. Airi gets a little excited and starts making something of a fuss.
なに？君のオリジナルのことが心配？
いいえ、心配はしていないです。おまわりさんはしっかりしてますから。
じゃあ何？
メリークリスマスイブ。
Huh?
That's impossible. I shouldn't be able to hear her voice. Iroha was supposed to go into the maintenance at midnight on the 24th. I checked my watch. It's 12:01 a.m. on the 24th. A minute past the planned time. Yet both Iroha and Airi are perfectly functional as per usual.
遅れてるのかな？
I mean, yeah, it's possible. They can't just all go down at once.
ゲジネーならすぐに情報を集めてくれますよ。
Airi then merrily thrusts her forehead toward me.
ゲージネーに変われるようになったわけ？
As of late, I had zero luck with this. I give it a shot and tap on Airi's forehead.
おー、
ぱりダメじゃないの。
I got my hopes up.
お兄ちゃんはいつも愛理のおでこをさすりますね。ほっぺたとか顎とか口とかを触ってもいいのに、どうしていつもおでこなんですか？おでこが好きなんですか？
一番タップしやすいからだよ。
それだけだとしたらあんまり面白い答えじゃないです。
Yeah, it's also not nice. You basically just admitted that she's got a giant ass forehead.
愛理はおでこをなでなでされるのは好きなので、くすぐったくても我慢しています。
あんまり我慢できてるようには見えないけどね。
But that's not important right now. The date's changed over, but maintenance hasn't started. Has it been delayed? On Twipo, Frau is writing about how Iroha maintenance has been delayed by an hour. Ah. I head to Happiness for You's official site only to find that they've indeed announced a 1-hour delay. Frau's info is accurate.
1時間か。
I have some unexpected free time.
ホワイトクリスマスイブにキスをすると恋が実るって吉住が前に言ってました。
Ha. Yeah, I've never seen snow. She sure does like, how do you pronounce that? Yoshizumi? Also, wow, despite his age, he was quite the romantic, eh?
どうせなら愛理はおでこにチュッてされるのがいいです。
Yeah, that sucks. Too bad you're virtual. You're not real. No kisses for you.
相手は？
ちょうどタイミングよく目の前にお兄ちゃんが。
Well, again, good luck with that.
それってつまり誰でもいいってことじゃないか。
And how exactly would I go about kissing AR Airi?
そもそも雪が降ってないから恋は実らないね。
お兄ちゃんは恋をしていますか？
さあ、どうだろ
はぐらかすのはずるいです。
う。そういう愛理ちゃんはどうなの？
She's become quite the conversationalist this evening.
愛理はしていないです。
I guess it's morning now.
そういうプログラムは存在しないので。でも女の子なのでそういうのに興味はあります。
She is.
ずいぶんおませだね。
降ったらしてください。
え？
奇跡が起きたらその記念にキスしてくださいね。約束です。
This is weird because, yeah, she is. She's an AI. This is just some strange behavior, honestly. Once again, Airi looks up at the sky like she's searching for something.
待ってるんだね。
Like, a lot of her original self is coming out here.
雪が降るの。
Even though she knows it's impossible. Even with the painful reality of a 0% chance staring her back in the eyes. She can't help but long for it. That's what the expression on her face tells me. The kiss isn't what matters. She's just waiting for it to snow. Even though she knows that she could vanish in an hour. This AI continues to wish for just one thing. This Airi truly seems like she's alive. It's a fact that Kimijima created her so that the Yukifune Airi can walk around while she slept. So she could dream. However, at the end of the day, a dream is nothing but a dream. Uh-oh.
あ、
My Pokemon begins to ring. Given how quiet it has been in the park, the sound startles me.
コナちゃんか。こんな時間に何？
今年のクリスマス中止のお知らせ。
アホなこと言うためだけに電話してきたなら切るけど。
待てよ。雪を降らせてみませんか？
どういうこと？
フラウタンが一晩でやってくれました。実際はメンテ開始が遅れたおかげでギリ間に合ったんですけどね。医療専用のアプリを自分で作ってみた。ヤシオ先輩も落として使ってみればいいんじゃね。きっとはかどるぞ。じゃあアイリタンによろ。
We're going to make a fake snow. The end.
どうしたんですか？
さあね。
We're going
コナちゃんが
to...
得体の知れないものを送りつけてくれたみたい。
We're going to use the power of AR for snow. In the email from Frau is an address. I download the app located there and install it into Iroha. I have no idea what to expect from this. It's only after I reboot Iroha that the app does its thing. And before my very eyes... something slowly floats to the ground, reflecting the lights of the aurora off of its surface. It's white and soft.
雪
She's right, it's snow. It's not actually falling in reality. The sky is as clear as it was moments before. The perfectly visible aurora is proof that there are no clouds in the sky from which this snow falls, and yet it's undeniably snowing. Through the screen of my Pokecom. Yeah. Within the world of the 7-inch LED monitor on my Pokecom, powdery snow falls on Tanegashima on Christmas Eve. The snow is just an illusion, but to Airi's eyes, I'm sure she can see it more clearly than the real thing.
雪ですよお兄ちゃんアイリにも見えてます白くてふわふわ
Airi looks up at the sky and raises her hands like she's trying to catch the snow while spinning in place.
今日の天気予報は外れでした
Excitedly and happily, an innocent smile forms on her face.
改めて今夜の天気予報をお伝えします種子島屋久島地方は
She spins, just like a child, like someone of her age would.
晴れのち雪でしょう
That's not a forecast. That's what's currently happening. I'll have to give Frau a pat on the back later. There's only a little time left before Airi potentially disappears. She should enjoy this moment as much as possible. I'll stick with her until the very end. We've still got a full hour to go. I suppose I can kill some time playing Kill Ballad. Per usual, you
お
know?
兄ちゃん
ん
On the monitor, Airi timidly walks over to me. For some reason, her cheeks are a little red.
さっき約束しましたよね
Did we, though?
約束
Wait.
キスしろって
はいおでこにしますかほっぺそれとも唇アイリの第一希望はおでこです
本気で言ってるの
お兄ちゃんは約束破るんですか
Just do it, dude.
せっかく
What's to
雪は
lose?
降ったのに
Maybe a little bit of dignity, but it's okay.
でもどうしろっていうわけ愛梨ちゃんは実体がないじゃないか
それはえっと
Airi tilts her head. I guess she didn't consider that. I mean, I guess if she really wants a kiss, there is a way I can kinda sorta fake it. Just like how I tap her on the forehead. But if someone sees me, I'd never recover from it. That's what I'm saying. It's gonna be fucking embarrassing. But, again, this character, who's not even real in the story, just an AI AR little character here that only exists on a fucking app, is gonna disappear. They're not real, but they really want to kiss. This is crossing the line as an actual human. Granted, a pervert like Frau would probably be totally okay with it. Oh, she'd be like totally on board with it. Airi is still pondering. Instead of thinking of something so inconsequential, she could be enjoying the snow. But you know what? The two of us have been partners for 4 months now. And yet I've never really been able to give her anything. I suppose I could suck it up just this once and keep my promise. Thank goodness it's so late. There's pretty much no chance of someone seeing me at this hour.
愛梨ちゃん
はい
そのまま目を閉じるんだ
どうしてですか
Come on, don't ask me that.
約束を守るためだよ
はい
Airi obediently closes her eyes. I hold my Pokecom up and take a step forward. Airi's face draws near. Another step. Her face is so close that it basically fills the entire screen. When push comes to shove, this is crazy embarrassing. I'm sure this is someone's kink. I just want to flee from the scene. This is about as embarrassing as when I win a KB match after being salty for the entire game. Is this really like... whatever. Plus, Airi looks pretty young, so it even kind of feels like I'm committing a crime.
お ちゃん。
Airi whispers, her eyes still closed. She's waiting for me to act. Her whispered words are the push I needed. The go, no-go decision is a go. I aim for Airi's forehead and gently kiss her through the monitor.
お兄ちゃん。
I release my lips from the monitor. The LCD screen was Is it an LED or LCD? We've said both now. I wipe my lips. I can't even look at Airi directly. What am I doing with this AI? Seriously. Damn, tears, huh? Tears fall from Airi's bashful eyes. Why?
お兄ちゃん。アイリは今、なんで泣いているんでしょう。
How are you crying?
悲しいわけじゃないのに不思議です。きっとこれもバグですね。それともマスターが間違えて変なプログラムを組み込んじゃったんでしょうか。だとしたらそんなうっかりさんなマスターとこのバグを出現させたお兄ちゃんにありがとう。アイリのこの気持ちはきっとアイリにも届くと思います。
I really don't know how to feel here, guys. Like, again, I've talked about it at the end of the previous episode. We've been with Airi for so long that despite her not being a real character, she's had such an impact. So knowing that there's a huge possibility of her leaving us right now, this is it. We're past the climax. This is the conclusion of her story. And then 40 minutes later, both Airi and the snow quietly vanish. Only the aurora remains in the sky, continuing to give color to the darkness of the night. Wow. Just like that, huh? Just like fucking that. My god. Wow. Alright. I mean, again, like, yeah, seemingly emotional moment, don't get me wrong, but it's just, I don't know how to feel with all that. It's gonna be weird, though, going forward without Airi. That is for certain. Let me see here. Yep, 27th, we gotta check our tweets for a surprise. And we're gonna do it with this alarm going on in the background. Just cause, you know? If you're interested in thin books, I have a friend in Tokyo who can get them for you. A regular attendee... Oh no, I just saw the Steam achievement before it went away. A regular attendee at Kamima each year. I only know them online, but I heard that they're friends with Dash. Username, Kurigohan, and Kamehameha. Yep. Yep. I'm actually kind of surprised that Kirisu's gonna also be in our D list. The time has come. It's winter break, get hyped. Play 1 hour, 10-0. A crazy hyped club prez came to pick me up. I bought a Pokecom for a longtime female friend, but I wonder if she can even use it to its full capacity. She'll probably only use it as a phone because she hates machines, even though I went out of the way to buy it when she finally gave in. Cold sleep experiment in Tanegashima. A girl who was asleep for 10 years has been discovered. The source is Sports Tokyo. Yeah, what the fuck? Why Tanegashima? Sounds like a manga. Yes, Sports Tokyo. Who's gonna take this seriously? If it had happened, they'd be like a natural monument. The question mark, exclamation mark, and the title explains it all. That's Sports Tokyo quality. Yep. I have tons of girlfriends. We're so close that I've smelled one of their armpits. Forced one to say cock-a-doodle-doo. One stepped on my crotch. One forced me to do puppy play. Puppy play? Is that real? One sucked on my fingers, and one's even my actual sister. Huh. All these people are completely brainless. 3D is no good. That's why I don't see any of my girlfriends and stay huddled up in the 2D world on Christmas. That's my way of life. I hosted a house party for my family and some friends. It's been a dream of mine for so long. After all, you're a winner at life if you host a house party. Everyone knows that. It makes you feel like you're the real backbone of the family. Like you're saying, welcome to my castle now. Please sit and enjoy my hospitality. Have I already become a total normie? Yeah, you're actually sounding like a regular person, Daru. I'm very surprised. Well, here we go. Ooh, look at that. Look at that right there. Yeah. Well, this is our updated Iro. Nothing seems different. Nothing also seems new in here. It's still the big-ass 3D space that we've come to know and love and enjoy and all that. All right, let's stop listening to this alarm. An imposing alarm rings throughout the facility.
敵襲だよ。総員戦闘配備。カートルーパー前期は準備が整い次第発進して。これはひどい。
It's really embarrassing when Akiho gets like this with adults present. She's like an elementary school boy or something. I don't want to get lumped in with her, so I stay quiet. Everyone else appears to feel similarly. Akiho finds herself totally alone, causing her to deflate. It goes without saying that the alarm has zero to do with an enemy attack. It just means the ceiling crane is moving. Right now, said crane is sliding back and forth, moving the motor hanging from it to the top of Model 2. Without me even realizing it, the bottom half of Model 2 is basically finished. We're attaching the waist parts now. And these parts have two motors installed into them, making up the legs' joints. By installing these, the two legs will finally be connected.
やっぱりあのクレーンがあると組み立てるスピードが全然違うな。
Akiho looks up at the crane and mutters to herself. JAXA technicians are operating the crane. I recall Akiho saying they said, there we go, it'd be too dangerous to let students operate it, so they wouldn't let her touch it. We should just be grateful that JAXA is lending us Nai-san and these technicians for our little robot project.
それにしても組み立てるの早すぎじゃない？
About 2 weeks ago, I had heard that the new motor had been completed. At that point, Model 2 only existed up to its knees.
パーツ自体はもうほぼ全て完成してたから。
Yeah, we've kind of been doing our own thing, so who the fuck knows what's been going on here, right? For the last 2 months, Akiho and Subaru have been going to the clinic day after day to make parts.
いや、1号機に比べてって話。あっちは組み立てに7年かかったんだよ。
ガンツク1とは条件が全然違うよ。お金もなかったし、設備もなかった。歴代の先輩たちがコツコツ作ってきたけど、うちの代になってからはほとんど一人だけで組み立ててたし。
Yeah, I get it. I didn't help at all.
でもガンツク2はいろんな人に手伝ってもらってる。資金もある。優秀な仲間もいる。
Yeah, apparently she was able to get like others to help out, even so back then they wouldn't.
特にスバルがロードマップを作ってくれたから作業が止まることなく進められたんだと思う。うちだったら何を作って何を作ってないかきっと途中でわからなくなっちゃってたもん。今はね、下準備はほぼ終わってて、実質新型モーターの完成待ちだったんだ。新型モーターっておじいちゃんが作ってるもの。
せい。
Oh no, we're not doing the fingers in the mouth thing, are we? Nope, yep, we are. I jammed 3 fingers into Juna's mouth. Maintaining that position, I look for Nai-san. I'm trying to avoid her prying into this monopole business. Luckily, Nai-san is a little ways off, looking up at the ceiling crane.
うかつだよ、純ちゃん。
Juna taps my arm while staring at me with tearful eyes. She's clearly given up.
ひどいよ、ヤシオくん。私、男の人に、口に指を突っ込まれたのなんて初めて。
Yeah, don't ever let that happen, honestly.
大丈夫。
That's not like a regular thing
俺もこれまで
either.
アキちゃんにしかしたことないから。ちなみに俺がもし口を滑らせそうになったら問答無用で政権好きをぶちかましていい。
無理だよ。
The only ones who know about the monopoles are us, Doc, and some of the oldies from the local workshops. We decided that nobody else needed to know, especially not the guys from JAXA.
まあ、
But
そんなこんなで
the more
モノポ
people
ー
that
ルモータ
know,
ーじゃなかった
you know the deal.
新型モーターも完成し始めたわけで。
So much for that. What is this miserable feeling in the pit of my stomach? She's completely hopeless. Juna's sacrifice was totally for nothing. Fortunately for us, Nai-san didn't hear her, so we narrowly avoided death. Akiho flashes us an embarrassed smile and then continues.
さすがに24機全部が完成ってわけじゃないけど、もう8機まではできたの。それもこれまで仮で組み込んであった側だけの偽物モーターと換装したってのが昨日までの作業。
I guess all the motors in Model 2 had been fakes.
春中さんの練習も兼ねてね。
Akiho looks up at the ceiling crane. Subaru and a veteran JAXA technician in uniform are operating the crane from above. Well, Subaru's just observing. I was wondering where he was. Harunaka-san is the JAXA technician in charge of the crane. He was apparently involved with the assembly of every H-2 rocket. He's quiet but immensely skilled. As far as us Robotics Club members are concerned, there's no one as reliable as he is. Plus, unlike Doc, he doesn't shout all the time. There's been no assembly work at JAXA for the last few years, so he helped with building the legs to stay fresh.
で、これから組み立てるのが腰の部分。これで両足が接続されて下半身完成。ちゃんと歩けるようになるよ。ソフト面はフラウボーのシステム待ちだけど。
などと意味不明な供述をしており。
ちゃんとやってね。フラウボーにかかってるんだからね。
などと意味不明な供述をしており。
大丈夫かな。
No, we're not gonna be alright. It's gonna be a fucking rush to the finish line. Subaru is waving both arms and shouting from above the ceiling crane.
あいつ今日はテンション高くない？
ハゲド、デュフ。
下ろしますんで固定よろしくお願いします。
わかった。ちょっと行ってくるから、あとよろしくね。
Akiho runs off toward Model 2, puts on a safety helmet, and then climbs the scaffolding next to the robot's leg. It's not just Akiho, several of the technicians gather up and wait for the part to be lowered via the crane. Looks like they're going to be connecting it to the motors in the thigh joints, which leaves me, Juna, and Frau off to the side. We're sitting at a table in the corner of the dreary facility. There's a whole shortcake here. It's also a little darker here. And also all kinds of dishes that Juna put together. Fried chicken, wieners, the works. Nai-san brought juice and champagne as well. Today's the 27th of December, 2 days after Christmas. On Akiho's orders, we'll be holding our little Christmas party today. Of course, Nai-san and the other JAXA technicians who always help us were invited to join us. Today's the last business day of the year for the TNSC, so the timing is perfect. The party is set to start as soon as the waist part is attached. It would have been nice if Airi could have made it. On Christmas Eve, the AI girl vanished alongside the white snow. Iroha entered maintenance for an entire day, but is now back online and running without issue. As for Yukifune Airi, she ended up being transferred to a hospital in Tokyo by the police. They're going to safely thaw her out. It made the news, but it's a gossip-level story. It'll likely be buried by other news in a week and then forgotten. Which, honestly, is for the best. Give her privacy.
Yashio senpai, Kimijima Report その7は見つかったん?
Akiho and the others are still working, but Frau is already picking away and snacking on chicken as she asks.
いや、手がかりが全くない状態だからね。どこから探そうかって途方に暮れてるところだよ。
But we can look for it. It's geotagged and hidden somewhere, so we just gotta go and find it.
私もできるだけ探すの手伝う。ただし、家の中からだがな、安楽椅子探偵的な意味で。
だったらどうせ役に立たないからいいよ。それより、さっさとロボ2号機のためにプログラム作ってやんなよ。
だったらやはり、アイリタンに手伝ってもらうしか方法なくね。
アイリちゃんは消えたから無駄だよ。
医療が復旧した後、試しに呼んでみたりしたの？
いや、でもさ、目の前ではっ きり消えたわけだし、それまでは俺の周囲をうろちょろしてたのにその姿もないわけだし、さすがにいないでしょ。
But until Frau brought it up just now, I hadn't even considered any of that. I'm surprised he never considered actually calling out to her. I didn't think to call out for Airi. But what if? A sense of hope and expectation begins to build within me. But if I expect too much, it'll make the disappointment that much more painful. Airi being around would, well, that is, it'd certainly make getting report number 7 easier. Yeah, that would definitely be a good thing. And so, I hesitantly try calling out to her. The name. Her name. The name of a program that had already vanished from this world. The name of that ARAI who was altogether too human. The name of an ordinary young girl, or young lady, who had always longed for it to snow on Christmas Eve. A girl with no family name. I mumble to myself.
Airi.
And slowly look around. Nah, there ain't no way. She's not coming back. Once more.
Airi.
In stark contrast to the people noisily working on assembling Model 2, the three of us perk up our ears in total silence. But as expected, there's no reply.
ほら見なよ。やっぱり消えたんだよ。バグとして潰されちゃったのさ。最初にそうなるって予想したのはコナちゃんじゃないか。
でも昨日私アイリタンを見かけたわけだが。
What?
え？それ本当？
Frau starts nodding. Why didn't she start with that?
だったらどうして今呼んでも出てこないんだ。
アイリは
Oh? There's a voice. Even though Frau, Juna, and myself are the only ones here. Even though none of us had said anything.
いないからです。
But it's Sister Centipede. The voice comes from my Pokecom. A voice that I'm extremely familiar with. She's here. She didn't disappear. I hurry outside and point my Pokecom toward the voice. There. As if she could vanish at any time. She stands with a blank expression on her face. I thought she was gone forever, but here she is. A green icon shining on her forehead.
今ここにいるのはアイリではなく、
ゲジネーなの？
はい。私にご用件がある場合は、今後ボディのいずれかの箇所へのタッチ、額へのタップ、並びに額へのキスは無用です。お分かりいただけましたか、ヤシオさん。
はいはい。もしかして覚えてるわけ？
なぜ今ゲジネーが額へのキスなどという言葉を口走ったのかは不明です。
Interesting.
バグである可能性があるため調査中。
She doesn't seem to be teasing me.
ま、別になんだっていいさ。バグだろうとなんだろうとね。
It's possible that her memories were reset. It's possible that her memories weren't reset. It's possible that there isn't only Sister Centipede in there, and that Airi is just asleep and could wake up one day. But I don't care about the details. It doesn't matter if she's Sister Centipede or Airi on the inside. Airi has come to the Christmas party. That's all I need. I'm content enough with that.
遅くなったけど、メリークリスマス、ゲジネ。それと、アイリちゃん。
はい。メリークリスマス、ヤシオさん。
A little bit of a smile there. Kinda, not really. Well, we got another route done. Yay! But what do we have next? Phase 9 start has been added. Oh, now we're officially good to go to the end, huh? Yep, it looks like it. And we have another circle over here. Yep, we got some Steam achievements to show for it, so there we go. Well, I guess you could argue that we really were in the straight shoot to the end. I mean, we don't have to do any more backtracking, so... But here, with Phase 9, that is the real straight shot to the end. Alrighty. Yeah, we'll end it here, but I guess that was another route. I don't know. I mean, it was kind of obvious that it was going to be a route for Airi, just like a straight-up regular route, given how it started and everything, so... I was expecting something along the lines of what we got here, but didn't know what to expect after we were done with it. Yeah, this was a weird one. Again, I'm not sure how I want to feel or how I currently feel about this, because, yeah, I mean, we got close to the character and they became a very common, I don't know, occurrence. Like, they pop up every episode or so, and they have been very helpful, both Airi and Sister Centipede. And, you know, knowing that we probably would lose Airi was kind of a, I guess a shock. Not too surprising that, you know, if there's going to be a tragedy where we lose a character, it would be a fake character, quote unquote fake. But you guys know what I mean. It's just weird that since it's not a regular character, it just doesn't feel like too crazy of a loss. I don't know. And in the end, sure, we lose the Airi that we've come to know, the silly girl AI character who's based off of a real person, but we get to keep Sister Centipede in the end, which I think will be pretty helpful. And I think Kaito will move forward with a new outlook on the character. I think we all will, in a way. So, with that, what does the remainder of the game have in store for us? I don't know how many phases there are, 10, 11, 12, Organization 13, I don't know, but I do know that the story has so much more to tell us. There's no way that we're at the end yet. I know that we got a lot more to figure out, so I'll prepare for more of the grind here, but I still wonder how much more we actually have left to go. I mean, at this point, how much more do we've got to go to finish this one up? What does the remainder of this story have in store for us? Because we've done all these character routes. What will pop up now? Now that things have occurred in such ways, Kaito, I don't know if he's grown as a person whatsoever, but all these different characters have. This club is probably stronger than ever. So what will happen now as they complete the gun build Model 2 and go to this competition? What will be found out? What mysteries will unravel themselves? What mysteries will probably pop up? I don't know. But I guess we'll find out as we continue along. In regards to this route, yeah, I'd say that this was a pretty fun one. I think it's got some interesting tragedy towards it. You know, the person here, the actual Airi, you know, basically being stated to, you know, not be able to live a proper life. You know, that is very, very unfortunate. No, I think there was a really good backstory that really pushed this this narrative along. But if I had to rank these 4 character routes, Nai is definitely at the bottom. That is for certain. I want to say that Juna's would probably be my favorite, with Frau's like just right behind hers. Or maybe a tie between Frau and Airi. I don't know. Juna's was a lot of fun. I really liked that one. They all had some different things going for them. But at the same time, minus Frau's and Airi's, it felt like time was at a standstill temporarily to tell their story, which was a little unfortunate. But now, like I said, straight shot to the end. Hopefully no more holdups. We'll see what happens. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that fancy jazz, and I will see you all in the next episode. Take it easy.